At 350 meters, it's going to be South Asia's tallest, just a bit squatter than Malaysia's famous Petronas Towers. And it will symbolize the manil, Sri Lanka's national flower. But the lotus is also special in China, and it is China's Exim Bank that is building Colombo's new television and radio transmission tower at a cost of $104 million. For Sri Lanka's majority Buddhists, the water lily signifies detachment. But Colombo's Lotus Tower will be all about worldly luxuries like glitzy shopping malls, wedding halls and even luxury suites for VIP guests. There's much talk of transforming the tropical paradise Sri Lanka into the Hong Kong of the East. But the island state is heavily in debt. It owes foreign lenders a staggering $65 billion, a twelfth of it to China alone. Colombo's skyline mostly consisted of low-slung tiled bungalows, whitewashed verandas and coconut palms swaying in the ocean breeze. But those languid vistas are fast being obliterated by high-rises contracted primarily to Chinese construction firms. And given the profusion of construction material and the admirable speed maintained by Chinese companies, Sri Lankans fear that air pollution too will be a fallout in the near future. The current grand coalition of President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe came to power in 2015. But Sri Lanka's relationship with China had commenced earlier. It was former President Mahinda Rajapaksa who first approached and readily received help from Beijing for rebuilding a country torn asunder by 30 years of the debilitating civil war against the separatist liberation tigers of Tamil Eelam. Sri Lanka's pride, China's premium project and a thorn in the side for India. Behind me is Colombo's Port City project. More than 300 hectares of land are being reclaimed from the sea. 50% of that, they say, will be for the use of the government and the people of Sri Lanka. But what is China going to do with the remaining 50%? That remains the big question for India. But the war zones have been developed rapidly, and so has China's investment in almost all profit-making ventures in the island nation. So where does India stand in this equation? After all, 80% of India's transshipments pass through Colombo port. A consortium led by India's Container Corporation will bid for the development of the East Container Terminal at Colombo port, which will cost about $600 million. India's Commerce Minister has announced a $2 billion investment in Sri Lanka's infrastructure. Auto rickshaws made in India and the ubiquitous Tata trucks can already be seen everywhere, including, ironically, at the construction site of the China-built port city itself. But that's all a fraction of what China has invested here. So what is the way forward for India? Cooperation or confrontation? China dominates Sri Lanka's skyline. Behind me is the Shangri-La Hotel, but India hasn't been left behind either. It was under the former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa that the ITC Hotels of India was given this plot of land, ironically right next to Shangri-La and facing the Colombo port city being built by China. This is Padma Rao for WION in Colombo with video journalist Shekhar.